There have been a lot of great motorcycles made over the last 20 years, but it seems like the same handfuls always get all the credit. You got K5 Gixxers, bespoke Ducati superbikes, and the growth and popularity of naked bikes like the SV650 and Honda Hornet 919. So on today's episode of Yami Noob, we're going to talk about 10 forgotten motorcycle gems in the last 20 years that you may or may not have heard of before. No real introduction needed today, so let's just get right into it.
This Triumph Trident 660 is being given away over at YamiNoob.co, but you have a very limited time to get entered to win. This is one of our 2-week giveaways. So that means on November 20th, that's the last day you have to get entered, and that is it. Head over to the store and get yourself 5x entries to win by purchasing something. Every dollar you spend will get you 5x entries to win this incredible Triumph Trident 660. If you've been wanting an awesome first motorcycle, or you're trying to size up and get your second motorcycle, the Triumph Trident 660 really fits the bill. Head over to YamiNoob.co and get started today.
The first motorcycle on the list today is the KTM 990 Supermoto R. This bike ran from 2009 until 2013, and at the heart of the 990 Supermoto lies a spicy 999cc LC8V twin engine, a hallmark of KTM's design philosophy. You'd think with all those nines they'd be German, but you're wrong, they're Austrian. This power plant is renowned for its robust torque delivery, ensuring an insane surge of acceleration from the moment the throttle is wicked open. The 990 Supermoto's engine is tuned to offer a balanced mix of low-end grunt for around town hooliganism, as well as having some extra beans on tap for highway commuting. Unlike traditional Supermotos, the KTM 990 was actually a very versatile machine and was even sold in a touring variant, which made it more suited for long-distance travel. The 990 Supermoto was able to make 114 horsepower and 97 foot-pounds of torque, which is far and above what you typically expect from a Supermoto. One of the main draws of the 990 Supermoto, aside from its massive torque and fun factor, is its commanding upright riding position. With a high, wide handlebar and a commanding view of the road, this setup, coupled with a narrow and compact chassis, allows for incredibly easy flickability and playful handling, making this bike a joy to navigate through congested city streets or carve through the canyons or rip through a racetrack. The suspension on the 990 Supermoto is impressive as well. The WP suspension components are fully adjustable, enabling riders to fine-tune the bike's handling characteristics to their size and riding style. The adjustability of the suspension contributed to the versatility of this machine. This motorcycle comes with top-notch brakes as well. Twin Brembo discs up front provide plenty of stopping power, offering riders confidence-inspired control in any situation. In terms of style, the 990 Supermoto is unmistakably a KTM with a distinctive, aggressive design. Its sharp lines, minimalist bodywork, and exposed orange frame exude a raw, aggressive look for the Supermoto. Weighing over 420 pounds, this bike is more akin to a hypermotard or a naked bike than a tried and true Supermoto, but nevertheless, the KTM 990 offers as much fun as any Supermoto on the market at the time, with the added versatility that comes with a slightly larger bike. The next motorcycle on the list is the Moto Guzzi Griso. The Moto Guzzi Griso, a quintessential old-school Moto Guzzi roadster, emerged during Aprilia's ownership, debuting at EICMA in 2003. Initially an 1100cc 2-valve design, it featured the iconic Guzzi Transverse V-twin engine, known for its substantial torque and distinctive character. This power plant was housed in a modern roadster chassis, exuding charisma and sophistication. While the early models were spirited and stylish, the second-generation 8-valve variant boasted a more potent V-twin, radial brakes, and various upgrades. This bike was considered a premium Italian creation, outclassing standard naked bikes like the Ducati Monster in features but not compromising on agility or performance. The engine, a 1064cc twin, is a notable performer, delivering abundant torque even at low RPMs. The later 8-valve version, with nearly 20 additional horsepower, elevates the Griso's performance significantly. Despite its hefty size, the Griso was surprisingly agile, offering spirited corner capabilities with adjustable suspension, ample grip from fat tires, and a comfortable riding posture. It caters to both aggressive riding and leisurely cruising, and while it may not possess the nimbleness of lighter bikes, its planted feel and responsive steering geometry contribute to its commendable handling. The Griso retains an old-school charm, eschewing modern electronic aids for tactile and sensory experience. Yet, it is pretty well equipped and meticulously constructed, boasting quality brakes, suspension, and finishes. The Griso is a classic motorcycle in Moto Guzzi's legacy, offering a distinctive and characterful Italian V-twin roadster. In typical fashion, the Griso's demise was brought about by tightening emissions regulations, and it was last sold for the 2015 model year. On the surface, the Aprilia Mana 850 GT is like any other striking Italian machine with its red paint and spicy V-twin. Its design design exudes a perfect blend of Italian flair, offering both style and substance, but there's something different about this bike, something automatic. That's right, it used an automatic CVT transmission. What? Yeah, you heard me right. This Aprilia is a glorified scooter. Aprilia refers to this transmission as the sport gear transmission because CVT carries many negative connotations in the motorcycling world. This continuously variable transmission mirrors those found on scooters or automatic cars. The choice for this transmission is fitting for Aprilia, owned by Piaggio, who are brands known for their Vespa scooters. Everybody knows the Vespa, it's nearly as iconic as the Hayabusa, baby! This transmission choice aligns with the model's focus on accessibility and ease of use, making it ideal for new riders or the manually impaired. Similar to the DCT Honda puts in their bikes these days that can be switched from automatic to manual, except worse because the CVT is not a dual clutch. But hey, this was like 15 years ago, give them a break. In auto drive mode, the Mana CVT transitions between gears without requiring a throttle roll-off, akin to scooter operation. Sequential mode enables clutchless gear changes, allowing riders to shift between gears with the throttle wide open. The Mana stands as a versatile all-rounder, combining modern aesthetics, ergonomic comfort, responsive brakes, and an efficient engine. An 840cc V-twin to be exact that makes 78 horsepower and 40 foot-pounds of torgarinos. The Aprilia Mana 850 GT is a quirky little bike that's found a cult following of Euro-simping CVT sexuals, a blend of two worlds, Italian charisma and dorky convenience. It's kind of like Aprilia's NC from Honda, but don't tell anybody I said that. A motorcycle brand that may be lesser known compared to the big, heavy European hitters like Ducati or Aprilia is Bimota. The company was founded in 1973 by three visionaries, Valerio Bianchi, Giuseppe Mori, and Massimo Tamburini. The Bimota initials of their last names form the brand's name. A little fact for you there, the more you know. One of Bimota's defining characteristics is their practice of incorporating engines from major manufacturers like Ducati, Honda, and Suzuki into their own custom frames. This allowed them to create machines that were not only technically advanced, but also exhibited exceptional handling and performance characteristics. Frame design was the name of the game for the folks at Bimota. In the 1980s and 90s, Bimota gained fame for producing some of the most exotic and sought-after motorcycles in the world. Models like the Bimota YB4EI and the YB6 Tuatara were particularly iconic during this era, but those bikes weren't from 20 years ago, so I present to you the Bimota DB7. The Bimota DB7 is a masterpiece of Italian motorcycle engineering, epitomizing the brand's dedication to performance, precision, and aesthetics. Unveiled in 2008, the DB7 exemplifies Bimota's expertise in crafting high-performance motorcycles that are both technologically advanced and visually striking. At the heart of the DB7 lies the 1099cc engine pulled from the Ducati 1098 Superbike. This V-twin power plant is revered for its harmonious blend of power and torque delivery. We had a 1098 giveaway bike a while back that was just a beautiful raw analog superbike. This engine choice underscores Bimota's tradition of integrating renowned power plants from leading manufacturers, fine-tuning them for optimal performance. One of the DB7's standout features is its exquisite chassis. Constructed from a combination of aluminum and carbon fiber components, it is a work of art in of itself. The lightweight hybrid frame not only enhances the bike's agility, but also contributes to its overall visual allure. The DB7 boasts top-tier suspension components, including an adjustable Öhlins fork at the front and a monoshock at the rear, allowing for precise customization of the bike's handling characteristics. With its striking design, race-inspired performance, and a meticulous attention to detail, it stands as a collector's item and a coveted piece of art for motorcycle enthusiasts. I just did a ride and review of the Moto Morini Sei Mezzo a few weeks back, and while looking into the brand's history and backstory, I found this motorcycle, the Moto Morini Corsaro 1200. Launched in 2005, this bike is a modern reincarnation of the legendary Corsaro line, a testament to Moto Morini's enduring legacy in the world of high-performance motorcycles. At the heart of the Corsaro 1200 lies a robust 1187cc V-twin engine that makes 140 horsepower and 90 foot-pounds of torque. The engine's distinctive layout contributes to the Corsaro's distinctive character and dynamic performance. Mamma mia, you know everybody just loves an Italian V-twin, you just can't beat it. The Corsaro 1200 uses a steel trellis frame that forms the backbone of the bike's exceptional handling capabilities, coupled with high-end suspension components including a Marzocchi fork and an adjustable rear monoshock. This bike is a stylish naked bike akin to something like a Ducati Monster, but its muscular lines and minimalist bodywork exude a sense of purpose with that oh-so-sexy underseat exhaust. Something about that exhaust just gets me going. Every aspect of the Corsaro's design reflects Moto Morini's commitment to creating motorcycles, they're as visually arresting as they are technologically advanced. This bike was a ripper and gave many of the Japanese naked bikes at the time a run for their money. But like many limited-run Italian machines, the Corsaro was just a little bit rough around the edges in some capacity, although many riders would just say these quirks are all part of the charm. This ended up turning into a forgotten European bikes video, so let's inject some corn-fed American-made ethanol-rich gasoline into the mix with the Buell XB12S Lightning. Buell has been reborn recently under new ownership, but that approach building machines relies heavily on Eric Buell's original ethos. The Buell motorcycles of the past were strange American-made sport bikes built parallel to Harley-Davidson using their 1200 Sportster engines in many of the models. From there, Buell did every creative engineering practice under the sun to make these bikes as fast, agile, and performance-oriented as possible given the resources he was given. The XB series was the last iteration of Eric Buell's Sportster-based motorcycles. Outfitted with every tuning capability possible, the XB12s managed to squeeze 100 horsepower and 81 foot-pounds of torque out of this archaic 1203cc air-cooled V-twin. The XB12 featured unique frame design, fully adjustable suspension, and the proprietary braking setup, which prioritized a low center of gravity and optimized handling. Of course, this bike had the standout Buell characteristics like gasoline in the frame rails and oil in the swing arm too. These Buells really were one-of-a-kind bikes, and it really is interesting to see the way these design choices are making their way onto the modern iterations of the brand today. And the last bike I want to talk about today is the Ducati GT1000 Sport Classic. The Ducati GT1000 Sport Classic was a modern ode to the golden age of motorcycling, paying tribute to the iconic GT models of the 1970s. Launched in 2006, this bike marries classic aesthetics with contemporary engineering, embodying Ducati's rich heritage in a thoroughly modern package. It was neo-retro before neo-retro was a hot new style of motorcycle. Seriously, it's kind of like a classic bike at this point. Powering the GT1000 is a 992 air-cooled Desmodromic L-twin engine. This power plant was making 91 horsepower and 67 foot-pounds of torque. The signature Ducati Desmodromic valve system ensures precise combustion and expensive valve service. The GT1000's chassis is a masterpiece of engineering, blending traditional design elements with modern tech. The trellis frame provides rigidity and responsiveness with a neutral upright riding position. The GT1000 offers comfort without sacrificing the thrill of the ride. The suspension, comprising a Marzocchi fork at the front and twin sack shock at the rear, strikes a balance between comfort and sporty handling. Visually, the GT1000 has classic style and a timeless cool factor. Its retro-inspired design features a rounded headlamp, sculpted fuel tank, and a vintage-style twin shock. Ergonomics on the GT1000 are tailored for comfortable and relaxed cruising. The wide handlebar and well-positioned foot pegs encourage a upright, commanding posture. This setup makes it equally adept at navigating city streets or embarking on long-distance journeys without fatigue you'd find on committed sport bikes. The GT1000 is a cool classic roadster that recalls days of Ducati past with modern components and improved reliability. Slightly. It is an old Ducati at this point, and it's mimicking an even older Ducati. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. What are some lesser known bikes from the last 20 years? I feel like this could be an easily continued series, as there are just so many gems that get overshadowed by the notorious heavy hitters of the day. Let me know down below if you've ever ridden any of these bikes or even better, owned them. If anybody has a Bimota in Austin, hit me up. I'd love to take one for a spin. Be sure to take a second to hit subscribe button, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Fact: during World War II, the Ghost Army was a tactical deception unit comprised of artists and engineers. They employed inflatable tanks and sound effects to create the illusion of a larger military force, playing a critical role in deceiving the enemy about Allied movements. Goodbye.
I'm like a bird, I wanna fly away. I don't know where my soul is. I don't know where my home is. Da 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 da. I'm like a bird, I wanna fly away. I don't know where my soul is. Oh, hey. You're still here. Man, this is awkward. You should, you should keep watching Yami Noob.